this month.
Yep, I was already making one. So if you want to know how much I'm making, oh my bad, y'all can hear us. Y'all can hear the mic. Oh, You on stage now, huh? Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Meko's Mind. I got my good friend Dr. Magic with me, my man Jay Smooth on the ones and twos. How you doing, Doc? How are you today?
I doing good, brother. Good to spend time with you as always.
Thanks for stopping.
I wonder. Last conversation
Last
you and I were
conversation
having,
you and I were having,
when we was talking,
when we was talking,
we was just talking about
we was
how
just
it
talking
is,
about how it is,
when you
when you
grew up at
grew up at
India,
India,
India, and how it
India,
is
and
here
how
in
it is here in
America.
America.
Now, I
Now,
also
I
know you're
also know
from
you're from
Chicago, so
Chicago, so
you like, you
you
there all
there
your
all your
life,
life,
you
you
live
live
in
in
Chicago.
Chicago.
But
But
how was
how
it
was it
coming up
coming
in
up in
India,
India,
man,
man,
as a
as a
young
young
guy
guy
coming up
coming
in
up in
India,
India,
opposed to
opposed to
come
come
to
to
America,
America,
and
and
the
the
difference
difference
of
of
it
it
is,
is,
America, I
I
know
know
it's
it's
different.
different.
Well, I
I
came
came
to
to
the
the
U.S.
U.S.
when
when
I
I
was
was
9,
9,
so
so
it's
it's
pretty
pretty
young,
young,
but
but
it
it
still
still
makes an
makes an
impression
impression
on
on
me.
me.
Kind of
Kind of
gives
gives
you
you
definitely a
definitely a
different
different
perspective,
perspective,
to how things
things
are
are
outside of
outside
the
of the
U.S.
U.S.
So
So
yeah, I
yeah, I
think
think
perspective
perspective
is key, and you get some gratitude with perspective. So
so.
when
When
you
you
left
left
India
India
and
and
came
came
to
to
America,
America, what was the
what
culture
was
shock as far as
you
you
coming
coming
from
from a
third
third
world
world
country
country
to
to
America?
America?
I
I
know
know
when
when
you
you
were
were
young,
young,
what
what
kind of
kind of
stories
stories
were
were
you
you
hearing
hearing
when
when
you
you
were
were
younger?
younger?
Did
Did
you
you
hear
hear
any
any
stories
stories
about
about
America,
America,
or
or
what
what
did you
did you
think
think
about
about
America
America
when you
before you
came to
came to
America?
America?
I
I
mean,
mean,
everyone
everyone
wants
wants
to
to
come
come
to
to
the
the
U.S.
U.S.
because
because
of
of
all
all
the
the
opportunity
opportunity
that's
that's
in the
in the
U.S.
U.S.
And India, you have a lot of
India, you have
people,
a lot of people,
but not a ton of
but not a ton of
opportunity.
opportunity.
So
So
it's not a
it's not a
level playing
level
field
playing
the way
field
that
the
it
way that
is
it is
here in the
here in the
U.S.
U.S.
So
So
it's
it's
it's this is
this is
different,
different,
but
but
at
at
this,
this,
but
but
they're
they're
not
not
bad
bad
differences,
differences,
right?
right?
Like
Like
I
I
think
think
people
people
there,
there,
make the
make the
best
best
of
of
things,
things,
and
and
are have to
have to
fight
fight
for
for
everything
everything
they
they
got,
got.
So, but
But
it's
it's
no
no
different
different
here.
here.
There's
There's
people
people
out
out
here
here
are,
are
it's just
just
being
being
broke at
broke
a
at a
higher
higher
level,
level,
right?
right?
That's it.
That's it.
Well,
I,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I've
I've
never
never
lived in
lived in
India.
India.
I've
I've
never
never
lived in
lived
a
in a
third
third
world
world
country.
country.
I can
I can
only
only
speak
speak
for
for
America.
America.
And
And
being in
being
this
this
capitalist
capitalist
country,
country,
you
you
have
have
to
to
do what
do
you
what you
have to
have to
do.
do.
I
I
mean,
mean,
either
either
you
you
think of
think of
something
something
and
to
create
create
something,
something,
or
or
you
you
don't
don't
have
have
anything
anything
unless you
unless you
get
get
a
a
job
job
in
in
the
the
government.
government.
And how
And how
many
many
people
people
get a
get a
job
job
in
in
the
the
government
government
these
these
days?
days?
So
So
they got
because
it's
it's
like
like
almost
almost
being an athlete. They only got so
being an
many
athlete. They only got so many
positions to play
positions
on a football
to
field.
play on a
So I
football
mean, so
field.
many
So I
jobs
mean, so many
working
jobs
in
working
government.
in
So if you're
government.
not
So if you're
creative
not
or
creative
a
or
doctor
a
or a
doctor
lawyer or
or a
some type
lawyer
of
or some type of
professional,
professional,
you're not going
you're
to make
not
it
gonna make it
anywhere.
anywhere.
But
But
why do you
why do you
think
think
it's
it's
so
so
much in
in
India?
India?
Because I
Because I
know
know
they
they
have
have
a
a
lot of
lot of
smart
smart
people
people
in
in
India,
India,
like
like
yourself.
yourself.
You're a
You're a
very
very
intelligent
intelligent
guy.
guy.
You're
You're
one of the
one of
smartest
the
guys
smartest
I've
guys
met since
message
I've
I've
been on
been
the
on the
West
West
Coast,
Coast
for
for
real,
real,
for
for
real.
real.
I
I
mean,
mean,
very
very
intelligent. I mean, that's why I wanted to have you on here, because some of the things you was telling me, it's very inspirational. That people need to know about it because they don't know what you can do with what you have if they don't know what you have. What I'm saying? The products that you have to put out there. So I guess what I'm trying to say is people need to know what you have to market around the world, because it's global. And what I'm talking about is the metaverse. He's very intrigued in the metaverse world, and we was talking because I'm a designer, and we're talking about getting my clothes around the world and doing different things because it's cool to be in wherever you are, and that's fine. That's local, but I'm not a local person. So I wanted to be around the world. I wanted to be everybody in different parts of the country to be able to get my clothes. So how can I do that in the metaverse world and explain that and
Kind of
kind of
let
let
them
them
know
know
who
who
you
you
are
are and
and
what
what
you
you do.
do and as far as the
Um,
metaverse.
Sure. Well, there's a transition that's happening right now where we're going from a local society to, we already have the local, regional, and national, right? Like that's mostly what we know. We know the celebrities of that country. We might know the companies of that country. But, if you ask most people what's outside of that, they're not very familiar, right? But the transition that we're seeing is not just globalization of commerce or politics, but also of industry and people. So average people over the next couple of years will have the ability to do commerce all over the world uh, because the infrastructure, like you were talking about, is being put together right now.
Very interesting. I want to be a part of that. I don't want to be left out because, like I said, you have to be in the beginning because if you don't get on at the beginning, you're gonna be left out and you're gonna be wishing you had it. So
Yeah, I mean, I love all the things that you've done, in your career and all the great people you've worked with, and there's a lot of people out there who have great experiences, uh, but a lot of them also came into that industry with a certain intention or a certain mission that they had. But most of them, especially the ones who became uber successful, they lost some of that mission right along the way. And with the tools that are available today, um, those people, once they become aware of those tools, um, will be able to, lead a life that is more based on purpose. So I think it's an exciting time to see people who have created or are looking to create. There's no better time like today to be able to make that happen.
a lot of people don't understand what the metaverse is. Could you kind of explain it to them? Because it's kind of like a virtual. I would kind of say a virtual reality world. Only is you can make money off of it. You can do so many other things. That I can't really explain it because it's not my world. Can you give them a little bit more insight on what it's all about as far as how they can make money and how do they get to find out about a person that
Well,
does it, whatever.
I think metaverse is part of a movement. Let's just call it in like the blockchain space. And I think what blockchain is probably more fundamental to understand. And and anything that you learn right now, hopefully, all it does is spark your imagination to go and look stuff up even further.
And give us a
Right.
crash course for dummies. Give us a crash course of what you do for dummies.
For what I do,
Break it down
basically,
you know what I mean, so people can
yeah. So
understand.
basically, the way that blockchain is, it's a technology that anything that you attach it to becomes programmable, right? So it goes from having a singular value to multiple forms of value. So, like for example, if you bought a ticket or like a gift card, right? Let's say you bought a blockchain based gift card, you'd still be able to use it as a gift card, but it could also be programmed for all types of other activations that could really make that asset that the person's holding that much more valuable because it just provides that much more value. Like you're seeing it right now. Like even in the music space, right? Artists are releasing their songs as most people know them as NFTs. But some of these artists are being able to make 30, 40, 50 cents per stream comparatively to like Spotify or others that you're really not making much. Plus, now the artist can also communicate with that fan because they own a piece of that song or a copy of that song. But now it's not just a copy; it acts as a communication device, a loyalty plug. It acts as like a trading card, right? Like it's almost like getting an artist like rookie card, right? Uh, and then they could sell it. They could license it. Like just depends on what the artists decide to give the.
So is that
So
part
is
of the
that part of the
metaverse? Is that
metaverse? Is
part of the
that part of the
blockchain? Or
blockchain? Or is it
that's
all
That's
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 all
uh,
really
all really
based
based
on. I
on.
mean, there's a
There's a
lot of
lot of
convergent
convergent
technologies,
technologies,
right?
right?
So
Like
you
so you
have.
have
It's really
it's
about what
really
the
about
end
what the end
result
result
is.
is.
What do we
What do we
want as
want
the
as the
end
end
result,
result?
right? So
Right? So
when we
when we
talk
talk
about
about
um,
um,
everyone
everyone
kind of
kind of
sees
sees
it
it
coming,
coming,
right?
right?
You're
You're
starting
starting
to
to
see
see
the
the
first
first
wave
wave
of
of
it
it
this
this
year.
year.
But
But
AI
AI
is
is
going to
going
be
to be
replacing
replacing
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
jobs,
jobs,
right?
right?
absolutely.
Machine learning. There's so many different ways that over the next well, let's just call it 10 to 20 years, human effort won't really be required for output. So if you don't have um, need for human output, then what do? Right? Like where does the human provide value?
Hmm.
So currently, all the most valuable resource that we all sit on today that none of us really collect on is our data.
Hmm. Interesting.
So if once we get to a point where we could um, bring that data, let's say, into our own personal piggy bank, right? That nobody else has access to.
That's your treasure chest,
That's
huh?
your treasure chest, right? So then anyone who wants access to it has to pay for it. So Google or Facebook or anyone or an advertising company or anyone, all the people that utilize data to make decisions today.
It's like collective content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All your data. Yeah. Okay.
So I think in the future, the more experiences people have, the more they'll get paid through the different things that they do. It's basically you should get paid for a lot of the things that you do and get cut in, right? Like it's like a revenue share model. Would you rather get coupons or would you rather get like a rev share? Like something the company that you shop at drops you a little check every month or something.
Absolutely, because you can see it in the streaming world, the gaming streaming. Uh, Guys are
guys are
getting
getting
paid
paid
just to
just to
play the
play the
games, and
games, and
it's
it's
like
like
it's
it's
so
so
different
different
now.
now.
I
I
mean,
mean,
people
people
may
may
not
not
understand
understand
it,
it,
but
but
it's
it's
a
a
different
different
world
world
we
we
live
live
in,
in.
and
Yeah.
like game streaming is so big right now. To these kids, you should think, oh, they sit and play the game off. No, no, no. They sit and making money off these games. The streaming of gaming is one of the biggest things going. So once you learn about it, you understand it. So you have to. Everybody's able to something. So you have to educate yourself on what's going on right now. And it's like a football game, basketball game, or anything. Streaming is modern day. How can I put it? I don't even know what to call it. It's just so major. It's well renowned. It can go everywhere. You don't have to go through a TV screen or listen to it on the radio. It can
reach so many people, so many platforms. So it's very important just to put it out this one, man. It's just I really like it, man. I really like everything you're doing, man, because it's so important to take it to the next level. But if you don't know how to, that's the part. See, people don't know how to go to the next level. Cause
Well, they shouldn't have to, right? Like, you shouldn't have to know how your cell phone works in order to use it, right? That's where technology comes in. And I think there's a lot of really great people in the technology space that are their whole job is to make uh, this new world that we're about to step into as easy as using your iPhone. Right?
that's not easy to use your iPhone. Ain't nothing about easy about using the iPhone. I don't know what you talking about, bro.
Well, I mean, shoot, based on
You
like
gotta take a
how.
class on these just to use it. Every time they come out, every year, it's 13, 14, 15, maybe it's 20. I don't know. This is like a 13, so man, I can't keep up with this stuff, man.
But you know what? You still know where your phone is before you know where your children are.
So it becomes a part of you. It's crazy how
Call it like the
technology.
beginnings of transhumanism.
They know what they were doing when they put these together. Trust me, they knew what they were doing. You know what I mean? And these days, kids 2 and 3 year old have phones. They can work a phone better than you and I. So that's just how it is these days. So,
Yeah, I think balance is key, right? Like, just really, I think everything starts at home. So
absolutely. You have to monitor these things. If you do have a child that has a phone, people please monitor your children's phone because you have a lot of perverts on here and a lot of crazy things in these cartoons. Have real perverted things that they put on these cartoons. So you have to really instruct your kids look at it because it's not a game, man. It's just so crazy, bro.
Phones have replaced like the babysitter, right?
Yeah, that's some lady stuff. Just giving the phone, and that's what I don't like. And you're absolutely right because I'm not even gonna get to it, but I had some people that I knew that did that. What I'm saying? I just get so mad because the child wasn't even on reading level yet, but you gonna give her the phone and let her just look at videos and do no. We're gonna get her a piece of paper and a pen and we're gonna read, we're gonna write some stuff.
Well, that takes intention and attention, right? Like, I think
that's called TLC, tender loving care. That's what it takes.
It does. And listen, I think all parents love their children, right? Like, at some capacity, and um, it's just how you do something is how you do everything, right? Like, if you are going to unconsciously go about your day, right, then you're going to go unconsciously about how you parent.
There's no blueprint. There is no blueprint to parenting, right?
Yeah.
But look at the kids in China, right? How they are. Look at the kids in India. Look at the kids in any other country besides America, and how they are from the age they're born to probably 10 years old. They get everything that they're supposed to get. So by the time they're 10, they know how to respect adults. They know how they are. The etiquette is on 1,000. They they just different. You know what I mean? Because of how they've been taught. But we don't have that structure here anymore. We used to have when we used to have community back when I was a child. That's the last time we had a community because you have a Russian community, you have a Spanish community, you have a Latin community, you have a whatever. You got a black neighborhood. You got Asian community, but you got a black neighborhood. Why is this? Why is this? Research, and you find out why. What was the reason why? What was the biggest threat of why the black man got his head cut off? Why the lady in the house by herself? Why they separate? Where does separation come from? What is the divide?
My personal thought around all of it is that, we've stacked on way too many labels and started when we first think about people, we first think about their differences versus their similarities. Until we start talking more about the similarities and the differences, shit ain't gonna matter.
Everybody wants the same things everywhere.
Everyone wants the same things.
Okay, you come from a third world country, right?
Yeah.
But that don't make you no different from me.
No.
You want the same thing for your family as I want for my family.
100%.
You ain't no smarter. I ain't no smarter. You know what I mean? It's just the resources. And you come from a country that has all natural resources. So it's kind of hard for me if I understand it. Because even Africa has all the resources. But when you have people coming from everywhere else, all over the world, stealing from resources, and no one is just giving back to the country, that's kind of hard.
I think the next generation of whether it's business or commerce or it's really going to be people who are being intentional with those resources, right? Versus like urbanscapes or farmscapes, right? Like why one of the things that's interesting is like in India you go walk around, other places, other countries you go walk around, and guess what? There's like mango trees and jackfruit trees, and they're all
So you eat off the
apples.
land, you can still eat, yeah.
There's 1.3 billion people. They gotta eat from somewhere, right?
1.3 billion.
So like, but over here, like got bushes and palm trees, and which is I nothing wrong with that vegetation, but if there's a hunger crisis and kids can't eat,
Once again, when I was younger, we used to have apple trees, pear trees, grape trees, grapevines, all type of stuff growing naturally. I mean, this is on the East Coast. I grew up on the East Coast, but now you don't see none of stuff like that growing. I mean, grapefruit. I'm talking about naturally. My grandmother had the best pears in the world in her backyard, growing up as a child. Even as a little boy, I remember the neighbor two doors down. They had apples. We had a grapevine in my yard. I mean, then they had all kind of like just was natural stuff, like you said, you should eat. But it's like the environment is so toxic now. The stuff don't even grow anymore like that. What happened to that? I mean,
we could definitely go down that rabbit hole.
no, that's another conversation right there. But it's just, you have to, bro. Right now, the best thing you do is grow your own fruits and veggies. That's the best thing you do. And my nephew, he has green scheme in Washington, D.C. It's major. Started in 2011. It's and they show people how to grow gardens, like different like areas where they have projects at. They don't have no stores, so everywhere they shop, it's like only McDonald's and places, fried foods, Chinese store. Nowhere to get any groceries like fruits and vegetables. So, what Green Scheme does, it goes out and it shows people how to be self-sufficient. So grow major gardens in all these different project communities, and within the year, they come back. Some of them don't even take a year, and they can go pick up greens out the garden. They can get the fruits off the trees, and it's one of the best things going, man. It's like something I would like to take all over the country, man, so people can eat all of it. Because no man should go hungry. No man should go hungry in America.
A lot of good initiatives. There's, I forget the name of the group, but they take fruit or vegetables that don't have the right shape or color or whatever, but they get thrown out.
See, that's another thing. Yeah, I hate that, bro.
All the waste.
We waste so much food in America, and so many people are hungry. See, we have to get some type of legislation.
Just smarter with our
the food won't get thrown away. The food will go to someone that's hungry, because the way it is now, and I had to find out myself, the reason why they don't give food away, because the people that get the food away, they can sue them if they get sick. So it has to be some type of way to where, so if it's good food, it can go to the shelters, it can go to, to the next people that's hungry. There's too many people that are hungry, going to bed hungry. There's too many starving kids. There's too much going on out here to where all this food is going to waste. We ain't talking about here. We talking about here in America. But come on now.
But that's what I mean by being intentional about um, how we do things, right? So the next cities, I mean, there's places all over the world that are popping up, maybe the Middle East and other places where things are being done in a circular way, right? They're taking a look at like zero waste type uh, buildings. I mean, there's so many ways to be intentional, right? And I think that's kind of what people have to get is just, in today's world, you have every tool to create anything that you really want for yourself. It's just about being intentional about it, right? Like, I think the people who are, will be able to uh, not just create wealth, but I think every person in the next 5 to 10 years will have the ability to have and tools to create generational wealth, right? Money that continues to pay them, their families after they pass through their uh, digital, through the digital versions of themselves, right?
And that's what we have to get to that part because as we know, you keep hearing things talking about the dollar's about to be obsolete in the next few years. We keep hearing that say
Some type of metal, gold, or silver, some type of metal, because that's
that's gonna be the word.
so.
What do you think about that? As far as what they're saying about that?
So, in I agree in assets, right? Like so having gold, silver, different assets on the rare metal side or mineral side is great. But if you think about it, data is really the new oil, right? So the greatest
So you saying
asset that you could build
So you
so
think
you think
data
data is
better
better
than
than precious metals? What?
personally, because if you think about data, um, like for example, metals you could keep. It's good to have, right? Like because it has a certain value because people trust in those, and they get used for producing certain things, right? Now with data, once you have it, and you could actually make it actionable. You could actually make it go to work for you, right? So um, as we talk a lot about AI taking jobs, it's not that AI will take jobs, it's that people who know how to use AI will take jobs from people who don't know how to use AI.
mm. So
So
what
what
you're
you're
saying
saying
is
is
people
people
that
that
be
be
thinking
thinking
is
is
the
the
ones
ones
that's
that's
gonna
going
be
to be
going
moving
moving forward.
forward.
Yeah, I mean, people who are adaptive and intentional and uh, aren't waiting for someone in their family or the government or someone in their neighborhood or whoever
Looking
they've
for
given
handouts, because that
whoever they've given away their sovereignty to, right? Like whoever, and most people have given away their sovereignty as in around their health to their doctor, around their finances to their whether it's their accountant. Like they've in today's world, you could claim your sovereignty back. There's tons of information for you to be able to read up on or listen up on or just watch some videos. They're applicable. Be around people that are moving in that space and claim your sovereignty back. And once you do that in enough areas in your life, then you feel confident enough to be able to make decisions, right? But it takes intention, right? It takes, uh, be a victim to your distractions or, you know, um, build something with the time that you have on this earth.
Absolutely. We was talking about where we going as far as this robotic world we live in, as far as taking jobs from people and a lot of stuff that's going on. I mean, AI, you can almost add it to robot anything, and they can do anything. And I just was looking on at this thing the other day, and they had BMW has a robot, and it was it was amazing. So I was like, wow, this is incredible, man. The way they it reminds you of when I was a kid. We used to have a cartoon called the Jetsons. You know, so I know you probably sure the Jetsons, right? And everything that the Jetsons was is happening right now. You know, it's like you couldn't see it as a child, but when you look around there, it's like, whoa, we live in that right now. Everything that they had, everything. Just think about the escalator that they had. You know, you just push the button, and they said the telephones they had. I mean, everything. I mean, the elevators, look, we had the elevators already, but the way they had the elevators just, go away real fast, but they made it fast like that, dog. But it's just, it's like incredible how they just, they would, they knew what they were doing. It was programming, actually. They knew it way before we did, you know what I'm saying? Because it was just a subliminal program. You feel me? But when you're a kid, you don't know what you're looking at, but you get to be an adult, you're like, hold on. I'm living this actually cartoon that we watched when we were kids.
Well, I mean, if you think about it though, like if we took responsibility as adults as well, you know, whatever we were fed, we were fed. But once you become awake to what you've been fed, now what are you feeding yourself?
See, a lot of people third out and open up, so they don't, hey, you can't make them.
Yeah, but
you can tell them to research, but if a person don't research on their own, hey, I'm not here to educate them. I'm just here to, be the messenger.
No, for sure, man. I think I'm optimistic for people, though. I think the people, whatever they don't feel that they're good at, like, most of us don't reach for things because we feel inadequate in some area of our life, right? Whatever it might be.
Why do we do that?
I mean, some out of just not knowing, right? Like sometimes we don't know about money. Sometimes we don't know about relationships. Sometimes, like there's everyone has some certain gaps.
So that's ignorance, and ignorance. Yeah. Everybody's ignorant to something, and ignorance is not known.
So now, over the next handful of years, most people will be able to have tools that can help them improve in that area of their life significantly, right? To where it's almost like having an assistant to do those aspects of your life, with you or for you, right? So the ability to create, if somebody wants to, is going to be. So I see like more of a renaissance in innovation uh, and personally, I hope it's with people getting their power back.
Power to the people.
Yeah, man, that's what it's about globally.
Yeah, no, that's real, bro. Definitely, bro. I'm all for it because, man, like you said, this robotic thing, we people coming in by the masses, and the robots taking jobs. Like, oh, you better do something, man. Bro, we have to step it up. We have to step up our game. Period. Everybody, because ain't nothing coming to you. So if you don't have a plan of action, and be able to, or you can create some type of for what's going on right now, you're gonna be stuck in the past. And you think India, like you say, it's a lot of, man, bro, it's just, bro, I can't imagine, bro, but you can see it coming. You can see it coming, bro. Real. Because just think about it. The way the population is going in America, it's the flow of people, you know what I'm saying? It's just overwhelming of different ethnicities coming to America and being just, yeah.
I mean, that's also what makes America amazing in a way that most other countries don't get to experience, which is the
I have no
diversity.
problem with that, but let's feed the ones here because we feed the ones.
Well, absolutely.
You know,
I'm saying like
we have this influx of all these people coming here, and we give them everything, but the people that are here, you give them nothing. That don't make sense. So you put the people that's here, you
put them
put
out
them
of
out of
their
their
situation
situation
and
and bring people from another country and put them into a situation. That's not.
that was just
That's
political
not.
games
That's
for
not. It's just, no. It's all. Yeah. It's all. Man. It's all. Man.
you
It's
know.
wicked, bro. It's wicked.
There's a lot of things that are happening that are wicked, uh, but you know, wickedness also gets the attention, right? But there are a lot of really good
it's a
people
numbers game, brother. That's what it's about.
that are, you know, the good people are the silent ones. You know, they don't need to talk about it. They don't need to show up or off about it. They just go about it,
Yeah.
right? And they're quiet about it. And I
But
think
when some of them
there's,
good people step up and talk and help some of these people that's not doing so good, but when they going, you know, I mean,
I
it's
think,
good to be
I
quiet,
think,
but you got to speak up when it comes
all
to the people.
when you think about, or let's talk about capitalism in general, right? Like it's it only works if you're solving a problem for someone. Otherwise, it has no value, right?
Well,
If
we just let's just say it like this. That's just economy, eco. Well, you know how, when you break that word down, what it, you know how. So we understand logistics. You know, you have to have a top, the middle, and the bottom. You see what I'm saying? Because the top 1%, they do what they do, and you have people here that the brothers of the world, and then you have that the poor down here. So you have to have the different tiers of people to run the world. You know, there's an ecosystem.
that's how it's been for a very, very, very long time,
Yeah.
right? But there's a point. There's a guy actually, Jacques Fresco, JACQUE Fresco. Um, he got his first patent when he was like 7 years old, I think, and he died when he was like 103. I mean, just brilliant guy. Tons of patents, tons of really cool stuff that he's done in his life. But he talked about the stuff that we're going through right now in like the 60s and 70s, right? So he talked that eventually when you take robotics and uh, you take all these different converging technologies, and when you can't squeeze people anymore, right? Like what happens next? And so he talked about like a resource-based economy, the global. So there are a lot of amazing solutions that are out there, but sometimes things have to break before you fix them. And people, and there's a lot of wicked people that are about to break things, but I believe in humanity's ability to fix them.
The power of positive thinking.
Hey man, it's you get to choose your reality.
Hey, for real, man. No, that's respect, man. Man, I love it, man. I really appreciate you coming through and talking to me, man.
For sure.
Always, man, something when I talk to you, man, because you're such a deep brother, man. So I just want to learn more about the metaverse so I can get in that world. So I'm still doing my homework on it and, learning from you. And I thank you for, teaching me and educating me a little bit more on this thing because I plan on being a part of it. And it's all about you know better, you do better.
Yeah, like there's this world that we're stepping into. It's going to require like a technical layer. You're going to have an execution layer, which would be AI, but the most important factor would be the human layer. Because your pain, your experiences, those are the things that will be able to direct the solutions that we need, right? So that's all I'm just
That's the key, though, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need, man. We need some solutions for these problems, man. Because we got a lot of problems, but we ain't got a lot of solutions, man.
I think
thank you, brother.
For sure, brother.
I appreciate you, man.
100%.
Man, God bless you, man. Much
Good seeing
love
you
to
always.
man. Thank you for coming past and checking out Meko's mind. Thank you, folks. Appreciate you checking out Meko's Mind, another episode. Got my man, Dr. Magic. Man, it's been a blessing, man. Peace and love. One.
We get something to drink real quick.
You still on?